It's February now. The snow has been falling more days than it hasn't, casting the world in this brilliant white blanket. All while we moved into our new home. So far, it has been very exciting for all of us. And the dogs are especially settling in well. This time of year is usually difficult for me. The months of little light and cold days wears on my spirit. But this year is different. I've been spending each day working on moving in and enjoying that nature has to offer. This fireplace grate on Facebook Marketplace the other day, and it is just so perfect. It's all hand-cut metal and it's just a one-of-a-kind piece. I am so grateful that I was able to find it and get it for this place. It has been a handful of days since we started moving in, and it is just incredible. It is such a beautiful place. It doesn't quite feel like my home yet. I kind of feel like I am playing house in somebody else's home or just getting to decorate someplace. I'm sure that will go away soon and it will feel like home, perhaps more so once all of the day-to-day stuff is unpacked and in a place that makes sense. But I just cannot get over how beautiful this place is. We haven't been able to have a fire yet because the chimney has to be inspected before we're able to. Really hoping we could have a fire right away, and the days have been really snowy lately, and so it's been pretty cold, and it would be really nice to be able to sit by a warm fire, but soon that will happen and it will be a wonderful day. In the meantime, I'm very pleased with the fire grate that I found and just enjoying setting up this space. Luckily, moving is a very warming activity. I have never been this sore, I feel like, and I think I'm gonna be really strong after this week. We had some help on the second day that we were moving in from some really good friends very generous friends who were able to move in a lot of the big furniture. And so lately I've just been working on putting everything in its place and finalizing some of the more fiddly details. Mostly I've been putting the plants around, but they do still need to be watered. They've been holding on strong, but I'm worried some of them will go into shock. And they also just haven't been watered since I moved in, so perhaps that is something I should do right now while I'm thinking about it. When we first walked into the house, I was immediately drawn to the sunroom. It's bathed in light throughout almost the entire day, and I knew immediately that this would be one of my favorite places to spend my time. So naturally, it was one of the first I began to set up. Though before I could finish it, I needed to spend some time working on repairs. The fence around the property had some rather large holes in it, and the dogs would have loved nothing more than to explore beyond them. As we're still living in the city, it is in their best interest to stay close to home. So, in an effort to build both a functional fence, but also something that I could take with me once it's time to leave, I built these trellis planters to cover the holes. And I'm pretty pleased with how they've turned out. My sink. Welcome to what is perhaps my favorite room in the entire house. It is a little sunroom that sits above the backyard. The floor of it is kind of a porch in the backyard, which I think is very lovely. And it is so bright and filled with so much natural light. Unfortunately, none of it is insulated, so it is absolutely freezing. I am working on some solutions there, but this is where I would like to spend a lot of my time once it is warm. At the moment, with the snow, it is below freezing in here, and not exactly the place that I want to spend all my time. But soon it will be, and I will take you all along on that journey of getting it set up. But that is not today. For now, I have a little bit more furniture that I want to place around to get this place into shape. Are you good? So it's now been just about a week since we started moving in here. It's coming together very slowly. There's still a lot of work to do, but it's starting to feel a little bit more like home. Getting used to waking up here, and as more things get settled, it feels better. It feels right. I just got a heater in the mail for this room, and I've had it running for a little bit. Still a little chilly. I think I need to figure some stuff out, but I think that it will be at least workable for the time being. I do still want to put a carpet on the ground that is able to cover the whole ground, and maybe I will just need to wear socks when in here to stay a little cozier. But it's coming together slowly but surely. Looking over the past week has just been really special. Letting the dogs out for the first time and them being so excited, and the snow that was happening almost every day this week. It's just been so beautiful, and being in a home able to enjoy it fully has meant so much. And it's so beautiful to just wake up and look out your window and see the trees covered in snow. There's a tulip poplar out my bedroom window, which is not a native tree to this area, but one that is native to where I grew up. And it's really special to get to wake up and see the husks of what will be what makes a tulip poplar, the flowers. They're so beautiful, and I'm really excited for spring and summer to come when they're in full bloom. But all in all, it is really coming together and has been really lovely during these winter days. There's a few things that I do still want to figure out. The kitchen has been tricky. I think I figured out how to make it functional. I'll share it with you guys in the next video. And there are definitely some paint colors that I'm wanting to change. The sunroom downstairs and the kitchen are the color of a peach crayon. So very bright, but not quite the color that I would want those rooms to be. So I'm gonna work on picking some colors, and I do have to send them to the landlord because we do not own this house, and see if they'll let us repaint. I think that they will. The living room is also bright green. Unfortunately, they did just repaint it that bright green, so I don't think that it will be in my favor to repaint that room. But if you know me at all, you know that most of the things I own furniture-wise are green, so it is kind of a green explosion in there at the moment. Perhaps that's okay. I think maybe putting some art on the walls and curtains up might help, but in the meantime, it's pretty green in there. There's also really no lighting in that room, and it gets very, very dark at night, and so that's something that I need to sort out. Also, the heating upstairs hasn't been working so well, so it's been very chilly sleeping. Not just in this room that has no heat, but in the other rooms, the heat just doesn't come through very strongly. So that's something to figure out. It is a very old house, and I'm sure some things just have worn with time. So it's been a week, and there is still so much more to do, but I'm really excited. I have some more hawthorn berries that I collected at my last trip up to the cabin. I walked by them and noticed that they were kind of on the very edge of ripeness, maybe starting to push it a little bit, some of them. But I wasn't very pleased with the hawthorn berries I had harvested before. I wanted to try to work with these ones and see if I could get a better result. So I harvested them and I cleaned them at my apartment before we got to move in here. And now I have them all clean and in a jar, and once it gets a little bit more settled, the kitchen and all of my crafting areas feel usable, I want to try to make a jelly. So hopefully that's something I can do next week. And I want to kind of have a dinner here that is a celebration and appreciation of this place, using ingredients as well as just crafts that I've made from my previous home. Kind of in a way to meld the two and make this feel a little bit more like home. Namely, I think this is where my lilac wine will come in handy, and hopefully the hawthorn jelly. But there's still a lot to do. Once the house is more settled, I will be filming a full tour of it, and I'll share it on Patreon if you guys are interested. I was thinking about doing it as a live stream, but I think that might be a little bit too crazy to watch, so I think I will film a very casual video to share with you all there if you're interested. And if you want to see it, you can find the link to my Patreon in the description down below. But in the meantime, thank you for coming with me into this new home. I'm so excited to share it with you and all the changes that are to come.